Hey everybody, welcome back. One of the most versatile items that everyone should have is a simple box fan. Now that we've gotten into summer and we have threats of rolling blackouts and heat waves, this is the least expensive, most energy efficient way to cool yourself. People talk about portable USB fans to run off of battery packs, but they don't put out near as much air as something like this does. A simple 20-inch box fan can put out over 1,000 cubic feet per minute. For those of you suffering from smoke from the Canadian wildfires, you've probably seen videos about turning these into filters, air filters. So we're going to do that here, and I'm going to do some testing on power draw and airflow. All you have to do is take one of these 20 by 20 inch AC fans and tape it to the back of this. But let's do some testing first. For this test, I'm going to use my Rock Pals battery pack to show the wattage draw on the various speeds, and I have a cheap wind speed meter so we can see how much airflow we're getting. So on low, we are pulling 40 watts. And I've got an average wind speed of 59 feet per minute. On medium, we've moved up to 47 watts and 79 feet per minute. On high, 57 watts. Wow. 137 feet per minute. Now, for those of you not up on electric conversions, this is a 280 watt hour battery pack. So 280 divided by 57 is a little over 5. So this would run that fan for about 5 hours on high, assuming you don't have any solar panels plugged into it. So I'm going to make a filter for wildfire smoke. This is a 20 by 20 by 1 inch AC filter. AC filters have a MERV rating. In this case, it's down here on the bottom, on the back on the very bottom. This is a MERV 11. The higher the MERV rating, the better the filtration. In my research, says that you need to be at least 11, preferably a 13 to appropriately filter out smoke and other really nasty stuff. But this is what they have at the store, so we're going to start with this. There's a lot of debate online as to whether or not you should put the filter on the front of the fan or the back of the fan. In my opinion, it should go on the back of the fan, so that way you're not building up unnecessary pressure between the blades and the filter. I think that, in my opinion, that's more detrimental to the motor. So I think you should be sucking air through the filter as opposed to pushing air through the filter. I haven't seen a ton of compelling evidence either which way, but to me that makes more sense. As a fringe bonus, by putting the filter on the back of the fan, it will stop things from getting caught up in the fan blades, like Prepper Cat's hair. Make sure that you get the airflow arrow aiming the right direction, depending on if you're going to put your filter on the front or on the back. And there, you're done. So let's test it out and see what happens. Wow, that actually really does reduce the airflow. I can barely feel it. How interesting. So we've had an interesting development here in some testing. So the fan is not strong enough to pull the air through this filter basically at all. I'm sitting in front of it and I don't feel anything. I don't feel any air coming through this basically at all. And that's confirmed by my little wind speed meter that nothing's really happening. Now the good news is that the current draw has not gone up, so the motor is not under any duress, so that's good, but it's just not strong enough to suck through the filter, and this is a MERV 11, not a 13. So let's put it on the other side and see if we have a different result. That was a fascinating discovery. So we now have the filter on the front of the fan. The fan is on high, and we're still pulling 56 watts, so we don't really have any great stress on the motor. That's encouraging. And there actually is some air flowing through this. We are getting air through it, which I have confirmed with my airspeed meter, and it is significantly reduced. On high, we're getting about 80 feet per minute, which is a little more than half of what we had without the filter. So you're not going to get a lot of airflow through this, but the purpose of the filter is to take particulates out of the air. So the good news is we're not seeing a great increase in draw off a wattage draw, so I'm not afraid of the motor overheating. And we are getting some airflow out of this. So on a cheap box fan, you're going to have to put it on high, and I stand corrected. Putting the filter on the front as opposed to on the back seems to be much more effective. So in every failure, you learn something new.